I like to think I've always been good at music, but you know, prior to me really making music about God, bro, I mean, I would only have like 20 monthly listeners, 30 monthly listeners. The crazy thing, you know, I start making music about God. Well, first I made the transition to like really start wanting to know who Jesus is. And that just bled into my music. I looked everywhere else but the Bible, but Jesus, for my spirituality. Only you are going to know when God's talking to you. You know, that you might think, you know, oh, God's speaking to me like this. And someone will tell you that, and they'll be like, that's weird, bro. That's just the wind blowing. But only you're going to know when that's actually God.
For the love, for the hate, for the sons and the faith, for the drums and the baseless break. Something to make for the ones in the basement, chasing the one that's great. Hugs and the thanks, not the funds in the bank. Done for the kids, listen up what I say. World full of sin and a world full of hate. You don't know who you is, better know who you ain't.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod. Let me tell you a story. Today's story dives into a topic that invokes a wide range of emotions. It has the power to unite people, yet has been the catalyst for conflicts, wars, and even genocide. This topic is religion. But what is religion? It is often defined as a belief in and worship of a superhuman power or powers, especially a god or gods. Does this imply the existence of entities watching over us from the heavens, observing our choices and the way that we lead our lives? And why are some religions subject to ridicule and mockery? These questions do not have an easy answer. However, I'm open to engaging with anyone willing to share their perspectives to understand why they hold their beliefs and how those beliefs have been shaped. Personally, I have not been deeply religious. I recall my father dropping me and my brother off at church in the morning as a form of discipline for misbehaving in school, telling us both, "Boys, you need Jesus." Even as I grow older, I remain uncertain about what I believe. I often ponder the mysteries of life after death. Do our choices in this life carry over to the next? Or is the atheist viewpoint correct, suggesting that death leads into a void of eternal darkness and unconsciousness as we return to the earth? Such thoughts could be truly horrifying. Ultimately, if one's beliefs brings them inner peace and fosters harmony amongst those around them, then why should we not embrace and respect each other's diverse beliefs? Understanding, empathy, and acceptance can bridge the gap that differences in faith can create. Let us strive to coexist peacefully, appreciating the richness that diverse beliefs bring to our shared human experience. The protagonist in our story today navigated a windy path as he saw his beliefs shaped in his experiences in the vibrant Mile High city of Denver, Colorado. Born into a world where his parents were separated, they both played vital roles in his upbringing. He found himself enveloped in love. His mother nurtured him with care, while his father instilled in him the values of manhood despite their modest means. One day, on his way home from school, his friend invited him inside to collaborate on a song. He wasn't sure of his rapping abilities, but he agreed, unknowingly embarking on a transformative journey. Through dedication and relentless practice, he perfected his craft and emerged a remarkable talented artist with unique lyrics that resonated with anybody who listened. However, his quest for excellence did not quench his thirst for a deeper meaning. It was not till a pivotal moment where he discovered his true belief and spiritual anchor. This revelation marked a turning point in his life as he began infusing his music with uplifting positive messages, sparking a wave of positivity that ripped through his existence. Now standing on the cuffs of greatness, he propels into a future ablaze with promise and potential. It is with my great honor to introduce today's featured guest, the extraordinary wordsmith, Cyfë II. All right, back at you with another episode of C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I'm your host, C-Rod, and I'm with my guest today, Cyfë II.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, my brother?
Man, I'm blessed, bro. I'm blessed, bro.
Blessed. I'm glad you made it.
Yeah, thank you.
So you was taking your kids to school this morning too?
Yeah. I got the pleasure of doing that today because, I had the week off today, or this week. So, yeah, I got to take my oldest to school. Mm-hmm. He loves, he's obsessed with me. So he liked that.
Yeah. You're an early bird, huh?
I like to be in my older years. Yeah. I try to be up early, man. It's hard for me to sleep more than like 7 hours. So I try to go to bed at midnight, be up at 7. I really want to be up earlier than that, but I still like my sleep a little bit.
Yeah. Say you was like, I said, yep, you want to come in at noon? A little bit earlier than that.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, man, I hit you. Hey, bro, you want to start earlier?
Yeah, I was getting ready. I could have, but I wasn't quite ready. That's all.
No worries. Yeah.
Remember when you were young, you used to look at all like your dad or like your grandpa, they'd be all up. Why are they up so early?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, because I used to sleep till like 1.
Yeah.
Sleep till like 2 p.m. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, bro. And my little brother is still like that. So now I'm looking, that's the opposite. I'm like, bro, how do you sleep that late into the day? You know what I'm saying?
Wasting the day.
Bro, wasting the day, bro.
You could be getting money all day long. You just sleeping.
See, that's when, now you speaking my language. Yeah, you could be getting money, but
But you sleeping.
Yeah, that's what people,
Yeah, I get mad. Like if I'm up and I'm working or whatever, and I fall asleep or take a nap, I wake up mad. Every time I wake up, I'm like, God, I just wasted like a whole hour. Like, ooh, I wake up mad. I be heated.
Yeah, bro, it's the hustler's mentality, bro.
Mm. Well, Cyfë here is Cyfë, right?
Yeah, Cyfë. You can say Cyfë or you can say Cyfë.
Cyfë.
Yeah.
Cyfë. Yeah. Like I told you, I worked for a telemarketer, man. That shit was, because you have to read all these names. And I got on the phone with this one lady.
Oh, dude.
And she had this really long name. I forget what it was, but it was really long and I couldn't say it. And I was like, man, I just talked to Miss blah, 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 whatever it was. Yeah. And then she was like, excuse me? And I was like, I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time pronouncing your name. And she said, it's whatever. And then it was like really hard to say. And she made me, and you can't hang up. So she kept me on the phone for like 10 minutes, just making me say her name over and over. Yeah. Making me see just like, nope, say it like this. And so we just were on the phone. She kept making me say it over and over. And the more nervous I was getting, the worse I was saying it, Yeah, so I was like, oh, I can't do this job. This is messed up.
Dude, I've never done telemarketing, bro.
No, that's a tough job.
It's calling random people just trying to sell them stuff? That's what that is?
We were selling insurance.
Yeah. Dude, insurance.
It was sucked.
You was scamming people, huh?
No, it wasn't. I didn't make any sales.
That's funny.
No, we were selling insurance.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But Cyfë is a Christian rapper here out of Denver, Colorado.
Yes, sir.
He's pretty sick. He's pretty cold. He got some bars. I was on Instagram. Y'all know my mission every day. I get up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like you, I don't drink coffee, but I drink like orange juice, water, eat breakfast, and I start scrolling through Facebook, social media, Instagram, and start looking for local talent or people who are willing to come out here and sit down and talk to me. I don't want to do Zoom interviews because when I'm talking someone's testimony, someone's story, I don't want to be over a camera. Yeah. I want to sit down next to them. If they're going to tell me something deep or we're going to hear their life, I want to show them the respect to sit down next to them and talk to each other in person, Yeah. So that's difficult when you're a small podcast like mine who just started. So every morning I just scroll and I start looking for people. And I came across this guy spinning these bars. I was like, look at this guy. At first I didn't know you were from Denver, and then I started swirling, looking. And I said, from Denver? Who is this? And I started listening. I said, all right, this guy's sick.
Hey.
So I that's when I messaged you.
Yeah.
And that's how we got here today. So y'all know the game, man. On C-Rod's Tell Me a Story podcast. I sit down with people. It doesn't matter who you are. Doesn't matter if you got 1 million followers, you got 1 follower. It doesn't matter where you're from, what your status is. I listen to everybody's story. This is a platform for the people. This is a platform for everybody to understand each other. And that's what we're going to do here today.
That's dope, man.
Yeah. So I guess we'll get right into it. Where you from, my brother?
Yo, man, I'm born and raised Denver, Colorado, bro. You know, just mainly Aurora. Like I was born in Denver, but I stayed all around Aurora. So, you know, Southlands area in my older years, you know, Aurora Mall area, like all throughout the Aurora Mall area. Yeah, and then I just been all around Colorado, man. I got family in Castle Rock. I love Castle Rock. That's where I want to go.
Castle Rock?
That's where I want to go, yeah.
Except when it snows, it'd be hard to get up them hills.
Dude, I love the snow, man.
Do you?
I do, bro. I'm a true Coloradan, bro. Like, I love where I'm from. You know, I love Colorado. I love the mountains. I love all the seasons. You know, a lot of people are here now, though, so it's sort of annoying, and it's really expensive, bro. But hey, bro, you gotta up your game, bro. Make more money, and so, you know, that's how I feel, because I'm not trying to leave like everybody else.
Did you see Mile High post the other day? Medium income, Colorado, 95,000.
That's the median.
Medium, low medium.
That's like, you're talking about like the average.
Low average.
That's, bro,
$95,000.
So I'm poverty then, bro.
Yeah.
I'm in poverty.
If you're below 95, you're poverty.
I'm well below 95, bro.
You
know what I'm saying? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually 95, bro.
95,000. That's what the article said.
That's insane. I mean, I believe it, because like, if you're a homeowner, you got to be making that much, bro. Like, are they talking about a household?
Household, yeah. Household.
Okay, that's not too bad then. Okay, because if it's just one person, like a medium, one person making that, that's a lot. But if it's between a household, that makes more sense.
Maybe it was one person.
If it's one person,
because Colorado would be too high.
Where
It's
the
too
jobs
high
at?
here. Could you imagine? Okay, like if you're, and there is a lot of people here in this situation. If you're around $30,000-$40,000 a year, you're hustling,
bro. Yeah,
you're hustling, because the average rent here, if you're talking about 2-bedroom apartment, you're well over $2,500.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
So it's cheaper to mortgage in Colorado.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, yeah.
It's cheaper to mortgage. But yeah, the rent here is,
yeah, bro. Yeah, bro.
It's crazy.
Yeah, but then there's all these things that come with being a homeowner too.
Yeah,
so it's like, in a lot of ways, you know, if you hustling like that, you almost just got to rent, because you know you could hustle, you be a homeowner, and then your furnace go out.
You gotta pay for that.
Like, your credit good enough? You know what I'm saying? Go get you a $10,000 loan for that furnace. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, man. That's crazy, because a lot of people. That's a crazy stat. I gotta look at that stat, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because you go at any of these jobs, I'm like, what are you making? I guarantee it's below 95K.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Any of these jobs out here, bro, for the most part, you know, and we're in a nice area right now.
But there's a lot of people they make good money here.
Yeah.
There's a ton.
Yeah.
And so they might outnumber us.
Hey, God bless them, for real.
Yeah.
I'm no hate, for real. Like, that's really dope.
That's something that everybody should aim for, to be financially stable.
Oh yeah.
It helps out a lot. I know money's not everything, but it does help a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot. And it helps, and what it will do too, it will help open your eyes. Mm-hmm. You won't realize it's not everything until you have it. Mm-hmm. So I gotta have it first.
That's funny you talk about money, because when we talk about, before I started making Christian music, I was just known as Cyfë, right? So like I had this whole series called Greenback, and it was a 4-part series, and it was pretty much about my experience with money from like the ages through like from like 19 to like 23. And it was a 4-part installment where I was talking about I would die for money, I would live for money was part 2, be a slave for money was part 3, and then be free from money essentially was part 4. And it was like the evolution of this idolatry that I had for money. And the reason it was called Greenback was because Greenback was just like it's an old term for money, right? But then the greenback is also the Colorado state fish. And then a lot of people don't know the really cool thing about the greenback is the greenback was actually a party, a political party back in like the 1800s. And what they did was essentially was there was a war, like there always is, and the money was gold and silver backed. And because of the war, they pretty much had to, they didn't have any money left, so they created this currency that wasn't gold and silver backed, and they gave it to the people. And so it had a lot less value than the gold and silver backed dollars. And what happened is eventually the government tried to say, all right, nope, we're not going to use this anymore. But the people, that's the money they had. They couldn't go get their gold and silver backed dollars because the government didn't have it like that. So the people, even though the government wasn't going to use it anymore, the people just decided to still use it. So it's sort of like modern day crypto in a sense. So what they did is they just used it anyways, and it became a whole movement called the Greenback movement. And there was a whole political party around it, because it was sort of just the people taking back what they thought was theirs, and them defining what was value. And so eventually it turned into a political party, and they actually won 5 states in the presidential election. Throughout the course of 3 different elections, I think at their height, they won 5 states, and Colorado was one of them. And they were like the progressive movement. They were like fighting for like labor laws, because back then people were working crazy. They were fighting for like women's like fairness, and just a lot of progressive ideas they were actually fighting for. And because that they won 5 states, the Democrats and Republicans actually had to adopt a lot of their philosophies. And that's what a lot of the things that came about was because of that movement, like as far as labor laws and women's, the word is like women's equality.
Women's rights.
Women's rights, yeah. So like a lot of those things came about this Greenback movement. And so like that was sort of, when we talk about money, it's funny because I was like, I used to be like have money up here, like as far as like what it meant to me, what I would do for it, what it was. And I went through like this whole phase of just like what I went through. Like I said, it was I would kill for it at a certain point. That's what I felt like. And then I would die for it. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like live for it, die for it, slave for it, and then at a certain point you got to be free from it and just let go of it and just not put it on that pedestal. And that was that was the music I made prior to that. Was like right before I transitioned and started rapping about Jesus. So like yeah, when you talk about money and stuff like that, like I totally get it, bro. Like I was really into like a lot of that mindset of like money and everything, and a little too much, bro. And it was a complete 180, because when I first started rapping, I never rapped about money ever. I refused to, like I actively refused to rap about money. Then I graduated, hit the real world, and I was like, nah, bro, this is what it's about. Like, let's stop being kids. And then that's what that happened. And now I'm at where I'm at now, where I'm like, I really feel like everything is spiritual. And so that's where I'm at now with my music. But just a little background.
That was a good history lesson.
Yeah.
I'll be learning stuff on this podcast, I'll tell you. So did you grow up with both of your parents?
Did I grow up with both of them? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, my they're never married. But I definitely grew up with both my parents. Yeah.
What are they like?
Man, my parents, I grew up, I like to say that I'm truly a reflection of God's love, because I didn't have a lot of people say I didn't have everything. Like I really didn't have a lot. My family was very dysfunctional and still is very dysfunctional in a lot of ways. But one thing that we had, bro, like for real, is love. And like, I really, really mean that. And we have like a big family. So we have our problems. A lot of my family deal with alcoholism and addiction. But there's not one person in my family of like 20 plus, 30 plus that I can't call right now and be like, hey, I need you to come pick me up. And they wouldn't go do that. And so for me, like just being able to have that cover that my family provided throughout all the bad things, the love overshadowed. And so yeah, my mom is a great reflection of that. My dad's a great reflection of that. Even though they were never together, I had a stepdad growing up who was also, he was amazing. So I pretty much had two father figures, really. And it was amazing, bro. I had a great childhood. Not without any struggles. We definitely had our struggles, but I've come to love the struggles and embrace the struggles because, man, everybody's gonna have struggles. So as far as growing up, yeah, man, my mom, she's a really loving person, one of the most loving people on the planet. And my dad, he's a teacher, and he was the one that really taught me things. And so that was the structure. My mom was sort of the opposite. She was just someone who loved me and would do anything for me, and she would express that through her actions. And then my dad, but she never really taught me a whole lot, like sat me down, this. My dad was sort of the opposite, where the way he showed his love was he would teach me things, and he would teach me discipline. So that was my parents for sure.
So that's pretty cool though. Like I understand what you mean. Even though maybe life was hard or maybe there was some dysfunctional, the love was always there.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. What did your mom do for a living?
Man, she jumped around. You know, she worked at grocery stores her whole life, and she's back at a grocery store right now. So she was at a grocery store for a little bit, and then she ended up, man, she bounced around a lot, man. Like that's what I mean when I say like we don't really had a lot. Like we never really did have a lot, bro. Like there is no like careers in my family. It's like just jobs. There is no like real generational anything besides generational love. Like that's what they pass down. You don't have no property, no money, nothing like that. Just, my mom works in grocery stores. My stepdad, he also works in grocery stores. He's a vendor. My dad works in an apartment complex.
Oh, he don't teach? I thought he was a teacher.
Oh, I guess got a little yeah. He's a teacher to me.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. I thought you meant he was a teacher.
No, that would be cool. That would be really cool, man.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple guys. One of these guys I had in here, both of his parents were teachers. He said that he was a teacher, and when he would come home, his parents would be embarrassed because his scores would be so bad.
Oh, like, dude,
we're teachers. How do you have such bad scores?
That's why it's different kind of teachers.
Yeah, it's a different.
You know what I mean? Like you teaching that as a job, but
No, but I think there's and it's a you always hear about this community or this community, but I think all in general there's a problem with man being good teachers to their sons. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Not just the black community or the white community. I think in all the communities, and I think there's good ones in all of them. I'm not saying there's bad ones. I'm just saying that there's a lot of them that could do better. I always try to, whenever my kids go through certain situations, I've never spanked or hit my kids, but
really,
never, not once,
never. You think that would have changed if you had boys?
Yeah, I'd jack them up.
That's what I'm saying. See, because I meet guys with daughters, and I'm like, okay, I get it. Because I don't know if I can spank my daughter, but I'm like, yo, my oldest, he needs that. Yeah. Like when I say he needs it, I mean he responds to that. He don't respond to nothing. Like, but when I whoop him, and I don't whoop him that often because I'm trying to really get like where you're at, where it's like I don't do that. Yeah. But bruh, yo, he responds to that well.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't
I mean?
have boys, but my wife tells me, man, I'm glad we don't have boys.
Yo.
You might have, it could be different, but I have girls, so I don't spank them. But what I do is I sit down and I talk to them. And I have when you are talking, I talk to my kids. Like I'll say, hey, for example, my middle, she had like a D or some bad grade. And I said, you realize you're in 7th grade, you only got like 5 years left to figure this out. Huh? I was like, you got 5 years to figure this out. What you gonna do? You think you're gonna go to college? You're gonna start a career? What are you gonna do? I don't know. When you got 5 years, better figure this out. Oh my God. Like I talk to them just like they're I want them to understand and to start thinking for themselves and I don't want to just yell at them and them not know, or me tell them not to do something. I want to tell them why. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely, man.
How old are your kids?
I got a 6-year-old, and then my youngest it's about to be his birthday in a couple of weeks. He's gonna be 4. Yeah, they're great age, man. Like, I sort of want another one, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, but that's on the wife. It's like, the woman.
Does she want one?
She does, but we want a house. Once we get a house, I think it wouldn't even be an issue.
Don't wait too long.
Man, it's not even about waiting. It's about we got to get financially stable for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But luckily, God's been blessing the music like crazy, bro.
Oh, really?
Like crazy.
Well, it's because you're good.
Thank you, bro.
That helps.
Thank you, bro. I mean, shoot. I like to think I've always been good at music, but prior to me really making music about God, bro, I mean, I would only have like 20 monthly listeners, 30 monthly listeners. Really? Yeah, like, wow. But people knew me around the city, like they knew who I was and they respected the talent and stuff. And that's what it was about at first. I just wanted to respect, wanted to see people, but I didn't really have the numbers at all. And then the crazy thing, I start making music about God. Well, first I made the transition to like really start wanting to know who Jesus is. And that just bled into my music. And so I was like, all right, once I started like really getting into Christianity, I was like, I'm gonna start making music about this. Like, how can I not? And so I started making music about it. It was like a challenge to me. I'm like, yo, how can I make a song about Jesus cool? You know what I mean? Cause like who could do that? Like you gotta be a dope artist if you gonna be like, yo, bro, anybody can rap about drugs, could rap about money, could rap about whatever, you know what I mean? And it's like, oh, that's just naturally cool, right? But if I say I can make a song about Jesus sound cooler than your song about money, that's really cool, right?
Yeah, just because of the culture.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I saw it as a challenge. So I was like, all right, dude, how am I gonna be able to rap about Jesus and be like, this is cool, and make people think that don't even, I've had like non-believers, like not Satanists, but like atheists hit me up and be like, bro, I don't even believe in God, but this right here, this is fire. Like multiple times I've had people do that.
That's dope. And
so like, that's like my goal. So I saw it as a challenge, So when I started doing that, I was still releasing Greenback and whatnot. But I was sort of over it. I was like, I'm ready to talk about God. I'm ready to people to see this side of me. I dropped my first song, Blind Faith, and it took about a month, but it just blew up, bro. And it just went viral like crazy. Oh, my very first song, bro. That's how I know it's God, because I've been doing music since I was 12. Oh. And I never had nothing go big, even though I've always had the talent. I've never had nothing go big. My very first song I made about God went viral. Like viral. Like it's only been out for 2 months, 3 months, and it's over 250,000 just on Spotify.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's only been out a couple of months. And I'm talking, I started from 0 monthly listeners 3 months ago, 900 followers 3 months ago.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, isn't it?
Bro, that's a God. My mom she said, I don't like to say crazy no more, because when you start really seeing God move in your life, you're going to be saying, oh, this is crazy. You're going to be saying that a lot. But she said, I don't say crazy no more. I say this is miraculous. Oh. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, it's almost just like you sort of got to come to expect it when you're really trying to walk like a righteous life. God's going to bless you how he sees fit. You know what I'm saying? And, praise God for real, because people like to say it's the algorithm. I'll tell you right now, man, it ain't no algorithm, dude. Like it's straight up a blessing. Like that the music is going up. Yeah, it's going up, man. So
you mentioned you had a brother. You have siblings?
Yes, I have 2 brothers.
2 brothers. So it's 3 of y'all growing up.
Yeah,
all running wild.
Man, okay. Me and my younger. I'm 2 younger. I'm the oldest. The middle, me and him are real tight. Where he's like a 2 years younger than me, but he's always bigger than me. You know what I mean? Like he's a big dude. So we were like same height a lot. growing up. So we were just, it was me and him pretty much the ones running around. And then my youngest, he's like 7 years younger than me. So he was like the baby, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, we was some knuckleheads, bro, just running around, man. Yeah, I love my brothers, bro. Those two guys. Those are what I do a lot of what I do for. I gotta be the example. I'm the older brother. I gotta show them. You know, we talk about money. I gotta show them how to get money and how to get it the right way. You know, I gotta be that example. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So yeah, man.
That's good that you on the path that you're heading and the way that you're talking to me, you're gonna be a good role model, not just for your brothers, but
thank you, bro.
There's a lot of people out there. Because something that bothers me, if you go back and listen to my music, I'm just as guilty. But,
hey, bro, we're all there. It's no shame.
I'm older now, and so now when I think about it, I'm like, why in our communities do we like promote bad things? Like it's cool to have a lot of bodies on you to kill people. It's cool to carry guns. It's cool. It's cool because I got in a fight the other day and we jumped the guy and we stabbed him up. Like we recognize the murder rates. Like this city has the higher murder rates or the hardest hoods. And why do we put all of that on a pedestal? And why are we not putting more positive things for our communities on a pedestal? Do you know what I mean? Like,
I know exactly what you mean.
Why aren't we spreading that through the youth? You know what I mean? Why aren't we spreading positive mess? And you could like, you're a good example. You could be sick and cold with it and spread a positive message. You don't have to teach people or to tell people about guns or, I mean, murdering. Like, oh, you know, what's so-and-so, he got this many bodies on him and we put him on it. Or like going to prison is like a badge of honor. Man. You know what's growth? Like, oh, I was in prison. Like, okay. Like,
the culture.
Like we need to change. That's something about the culture.
It's the culture, bro. It's the culture, man. Why? Let me ask you, why do you think that is?
Yeah, I guess you're right. It could be the culture. I feel like as I got older, I got out the loop somehow. But I can remember being younger and being blinded by it, you know, and thinking. I remember my way of thinking was different when I was younger.
Absolutely.
But I think culture is a good answer.
Why do you think the culture is like that?
I think could be the fault of my generation. You know?
You think your generation specifically?
Yeah.
Say, hey, bro, I know some people.
Well, if you, for example, before, like, I grew up, I'm an 80s, 90s, you know? And the 70s and the 60s weren't a lot like the 80s and 90s. We start crack, gangs, gunplay, tons of shootings. And if you ever, you said you knew about the 90s. And if you ever look it up, the late 80s and 90s were wild. It's like the Wild West, you know what I mean? And all of us, now our kids are the ones that we bring up, and all of us are the ones that were involved in that culture. And I think we've just passed it on to our kids. For example, music. When I was growing up, you couldn't listen to my parents' music because it sounded completely and utterly different and not even close to the same. Like you would have I grew up, Tupac, right? My parents grew up to like the Temptations. You see what I mean? Yeah. But like me, I grew up Tupac, and now my daughter has like J. Cole. So like there's a way, see what I mean? Like we passed our culture down and art to this new generation. So I kind of do you get what I'm kind of saying? I know
exactly what you're saying.
So that's maybe that could be it. You know what I mean? But I know one thing. I wish it wouldn't be like that. I wish we glorified positive things.
Yeah, man. I mean, the reason I ask is because for me, it's not even. I always try to get to the root of everything. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, start asking these questions, right? Of like, well, why can't we just glorify good things? Why is it so evil in this way? And then so we go, oh, it's the culture. Why is the culture? Why is it the culture? Well, you know, in my generation, you know, we started listening to, you know, gangster rap, and gangster rap sort of influenced that. Well, why is there gangster rap? Well, it's because of this, it's because of that. You know, and you can keep going back and keep going. And ultimately, you know, this is why I'm really into theology, because it's a devil out here that is the ruler of the earth and has influence on the earth. Even if you don't believe, right? Just the idea of it alone is influencing it, you know? So there's an evil, right? Whatever you want to call it. There's an evil that's influencing the earth. And we're seeing it become more prevalent in today's day and age, where in a spiritual sense, that spiritual evil can be manifested in a physical way. And that's what we're seeing, is it's an actual physical entity that is influencing. It's a spirit, right? Like when I walk into a room, there's a vibe. You feel the spiritual vibe of who I am. Just like someone else walks into a room and you feel this, oh, I'm getting off. That's a spirit, right? So it's a physical thing, because now you can feel it. There is a spiritual evil in the earth that is influencing the earth. And the scary thing is it's becoming more bold. Nowadays, it didn't start with your generation, right? That's what we saw, but it was already here before your generation. And but as the time has gone on, you'll start to see how it's progressed. And so when you get spiritual, you start to really think like, okay, well, how did this start? You can go down through many paths, man. Before I was a Christian, I was really into like New Age spirituality, meditation, Buddhism, and a lot of that kind of stuff. It led me down a real dark path. And when you really come face to face with a lot of these evils, like face to face, and you see, you know that there's a good when you're looking evil right in his eye. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
So when you see that, you like, oh, this is real. This evil that people talking about, this devil that people are talking about, this is real. When you see that, you know it's a okay, let me do it. What's on this side then? If this is real right here, what's on this side? And so now what I think we're seeing is a polarization, where you're seeing people like me rise up, where it's like, oh, dude, this dude's dope. He's rapping about like positivity, things I could show my kids. You know what I mean? In a way where it's not weird, right? You don't even gotta believe in God, really, and you could be like, yo, I like this song, and I like the message. You know what I'm saying? It makes me feel better about my life. And then you have also an opposite, where it's like, now you're seeing the music go even more so like, nah, I'm gonna kill you. Nah, you just foul things, bro. Foul things being said, man. Stuff that I don't even want to repeat, right? You know what I'm saying? Just going through my head, like lyrics that I've heard that I'm just like, bro, why would you ever say something like that? That's just like literally sick. It's more than just kill somebody. Just stuff that's just like, why would you ever say something like that? And we're seeing that there's really no middle. It's hard to find that middle ground now. You know what I'm saying? So just going back to what you were saying with the whole, why can't we have more positivity? Well, the cool thing is we can have more positivity, bro, and we can be talking about more positivity in the music, and we can make the culture such where it's a positive culture. And that's what my role is, you know, I like to think I'm a cool person, like I'm cool. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to show you something cool and make this the good cool, like a Deion Sanders, right? Deion Sanders is one of the coolest dudes out here, man. But everywhere you see him talking about God, you see him talking about Jesus, and he makes it cool. You like, bro, I don't know why, but Deion's cool. Everything he does, the way he walks, the way he steps, everything is cool. But you see the message behind it, it's always positivity. And so we have to have those examples to show these kids that you don't have to talk about the streets like I did. You know what I mean? My first rap was talking about, oh, I'm out in these streets. I wasn't even out in these streets, bro. But I said, you know what I'm saying? But yeah. I felt like I had to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And the kids are doing the same thing. they're gonna be out here talking about it. And what the difference is they gonna make a dope song talking about the streets. It's gonna go big, and now they have to uphold that image. And when you're that young, dude, you're not thinking long term. You're like, oh no, this is hot. This is what my friends are singing. I got followers now. I got people talking to me. Yeah, I'm gonna keep doing this. And it's not even real. They're not even living that life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you looking for that life, is gonna find you. Definitely gonna find you.
Exactly.
So you talk about when you first started rapping, how was school like for you? Was that in school, or tell me a little bit about your school life?
Man, I love school, bro. School was fun. I started rapping in middle school, 7th grade, bro. I was walking back from the bus, and my dude Cash, shout out Avery Cash, man. He's having twins. Shout out. We was walking back, and he's like 5 doors up from me, and he's about to walk inside the house. He's like, "Yo, I'm about to make a mixtape, bro. You want to get on it?" And like, for me, it never crossed my mind that was even a thing that I could do. For whatever reason, I don't know why, bro. Maybe I was just feeling good that day. I didn't put too much thought into it. I was just like, "Yeah, dude, I'll do that." And then I don't remember, some time had passed. I go over his house. He's got a little Rock Band mic, or I don't even know what he had, man. We recorded it on something. It was terrible, bro. It was so bad, dude. But I thought it was, I thought it was fire. And I go to record it thinking it's gonna sound like how it sounded in my head, and it was so bad, bro. I wasn't even on beat. And this is why I tell everybody that makes music, I'm like, look, man, you don't understand where I started, bro. You know what I'm saying? Especially there's a lot of kids that follow me, and they talking to me about music, and I'm like, guys, you have to get those reps in. You just gotta work. Yeah. Like, I started when I was 12. I wasn't even on beat. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, all right, nah. I was always a good writer. I was like, I'm gonna make it a point to be good. Like, I'm gonna be good. Yeah. And so I kept going with that, and eventually by junior year, I had sort of been dabbling in the rap. It wasn't serious, but I was always writing poetry before, like in elementary school. Then I transitioned to rap in 7th grade, and then I was sort of just dabbling in it, doing things here and there, rapping on a Rock Band mic, sort of just writing rhymes and stuff. And then junior year, I met my dude Ray Lyle, and that's like my main guy that I rap with now. Like I used to rap with all the time. We don't really rap together as much because we've been doing it for so long together, but we're always locked in. And me and him, we was like, I found out he rapped, and this was like, it was actually like sophomore year, and I was like, yo, you rap? And he's like, yeah, bro. I'm like, what? I was super excited that someone else rapped, because back in those days, everyone wasn't a rapper. It was like 3 people you knew that rapped in school. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Now everyone raps. If you go to high school, I'm sure everyone is a rapper at high school. Yeah. So it was like, oh, what, you rap? And so I was super excited. I was playing basketball, and I was like, you know what? I'm not even gonna try out for the team this year. Partially because I was scared to get cut. But the other reason was because I was like, I want to do this seriously. And so then that summer between sophomore and junior year, me and Ray locked in. We spent like so many nights together, bro. And we were just making music, And the way we was making music, bro, it wasn't even like, people think you got to have the whole setup like what you got, man. Like, if you want to start a podcast, you don't need 3 different cameras, all this lighting, man. You really just need a phone. Yeah. And to do a podcast, and a mic, dude, and your phone got a mic, so that's all you need. That's all you need. You know what I'm saying? And when we started rapping, dude, like I said, we literally had a Rock Band mic, or we had those little thin mics that you would use for a webcam. Mm-hmm. We would rap on that, bro, and we wouldn't even have the beat because we couldn't pull MP3s. We couldn't rip MP3s off YouTube. Mm-hmm. So what we would do is we would play the beat off of a beat site, because YouTube didn't even have beats like that back then. We would find a beat, we'd play it, and we'd record the play. Like we would record, click record, and then play the beat. So there'd be a little gap in between the song from where it would start, the beat. and it would be terrible sound quality because you're just hearing a recording of the beat, and we'd have to hit everything in one take.
Yeah.
We'd have to hit the verse, the hook, the verse, the hook again, and the verse all in one take, dude. And we did that like day and night, bro.
That made you good though.
You know what I'm saying? Because you just mess up. Oh, got it. The very end of the song, you mess up. We got to do the whole thing over again, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Oh Lord.
And then we'd upload that on MySpace. You know, back in the MySpace days, dude.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and then people knew me in high school as like I was the rapper guy, you know. And so when I was rapping, eventually we formed a little group called LGC, and that was cool, man. It was me and then Ray, another dude from Eagle Crest named Joe Law, and then two dudes, one dude named Jordan Paul and another dude named Dante, and then also another guy who was sort of affiliate named Brandon Hill. And we was all, you know, we was in Colorado, a couple of them in Castle Rock, formed a little group, and everyone sort of knew about us at Eagle Crest. That's where we went to school. And yeah, man, graduated, dropped a mixtape. It got like 150 downloads. I was on top of the world, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Made it.
Dude, I thought I made it for real. I was like, oh, I got 150 downloads on hot new hip hop.
Yeah.
It was the most downloads out of everyone in the crew. Dude, I thought I made it. Second one, flop. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was like wake up call. Like I was like, man, none of this matters, bro. It didn't matter.
No.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I went there because I was just like, even if it wasn't, what am I really doing this for? Like, even if I got 1,000, then what?
Yeah.
I didn't have a vision. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have a long-term vision of like how I was really gonna make money. I thought it was like, I'm gonna get signed by Drake. And that's
my plan.
That's the plan, yeah. Like J. Cole's gonna have to find me and sign me.
Yeah.
That was the
I'm
plan.
gonna drop this shit. It's gonna be so hard. Everybody's just gonna call me and blow me up.
That's the plan. That was the plan, bro. And when that's the plan, you don't have a plan.
Yeah, that's pretty much.
You know what I'm saying?
So you just once you hit junior year, you just forget basketball. Let's do music.
Oh yeah, man.
But you was doing the greenback.
Yeah, that wasn't until about 20 years old that I found the greenback idea. You know, so moving on to, you know, after I hit that stage of like, oh, you know, this music, you know, what's the point? I was always still doing music, but I didn't release any projects for a long time. And actually, like I said, Greenback didn't release till like 8 years later, but it was an idea that I came when I was like 20. And so I released, it took me 5 years from my second mixtape that I was all doom and gloom about. It took me 5 years to release another mixtape. Me and Ray think back and we're like, man, what was I doing in that time? You know, like, I wish I had the hustle that I do now back then. Cause like you said, you know, you end up going to sleep, you sleeping on money, sleeping on opportunities.
Opportunities could be there.
Dude, I was smoking too much weed.
Oh, no.
I was, you know what I'm saying? I was just living life. I wasn't thinking about how I could really make this a real career, a real possibility. So I wasn't really dropping nothing. I was dropping songs here and there on SoundCloud, you know, networking, being me. It wasn't until 2017 I dropped this mixtape called, it was an EP called Foundation. And that sort of put me back on the map. It was the first one that hit Apple Music and Spotify. It's still up on Apple Music and Spotify on my old moniker, just regular Cyfë. And then that was sort of the new beginning to say, as you know, drop that. And it did pretty well, but like I said, I never really had a buzz, man. My dude Ray was actually the one that had like the real buzz. You know, he was out here he put out this song called Metapod in the city. And Metapod sort of did numbers a little bit. And I was like, all right, man, I gotta, you know, lit a fire under me. And even though, like I said, my music was still fire, dude. Went from that mixtape to a mixtape which was supposed to be Greenback. And Greenback was originally supposed to be called Greenback Season. And so, but I had all these extras that I was like, I'm not going to do this and put it on Greenback. And so I put it on a thing called Greenback Season. And that was actually the first and only mixtape where me and all the members of LGC that I mentioned earlier It's the only project that all of us are on, and that one's still up too. And yeah, man. And then I got into Greenback, and that was as early as last year. Like last year, I released the last 2 installments of Greenback early in the year and then mid during the year, and then I dropped my first Christian song in October. So it's been a journey, man. The music, and like I said, and I just finally got my moment. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it took me 15 years to finally get a moment where it's like, oh wow, like people are recognizing the music, you know, and yeah,
start elevating.
Yeah, man, you know.
So after you finished high school, you just started music. Is that all you were? And then besides the 5 years where you took the little break, was that all you did? Did you go to college or anything like that?
I did go to college for a little bit, but it wasn't nothing really. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like I went to a little community college that wasn't really like, it was like CCA, man, you know, or whatever. It was like Aurora Community College. I went for like a semester, dude. But I mean, bro, so think about it like this, like, you know, like my whole life, I either want to be an NBA player or a rapper. And I just told you what my plan was as a rapper. And that's what I wanted to do. So I didn't have no plan. I definitely didn't have no plan B. You know what I'm saying? So everything revolved around what I want to do with my life, because I've never been the type of person that cared about money. Like, as far as like, it's funny because I did Greenback, but I didn't really care about money in the sense of like my actions. Like, I did mentally, like I was like, oh, I'll do anything, I'll do it. But I never really like, I never really made it a real effort to like actually get money or like make a long-term goal of like, well, if I do this, I'll be set in 5 years. I never had anything like that. Everything's always been revolved around, even to this day, everything's always been revolved around music. And I, you know, praise God, I have a really great job right now. I'm making really good money doing what I'm doing. But it's still music, and that's what it is, man. And, you know, like I said, praise God, because I'm actually at a place now, bro, where like I'm making money from my music. You know what I'm saying? Like, people are seeing my music. So like, just scaling that, you know. And I just want to encourage anybody that's trying to make it as an artist. Like, you can make it as a rapper, man. Like, I know there's so many rappers in the city, especially young ones. First off, definitely try to talk about something more real than the streets. You know, it's realer stuff than that. There just is. And you know, the people you care about. You know what I'm saying? You there's a difference between talking about just talking about your environment and then glorifying it. You know, you can talk about where you're from if it's a rough area. I'm not from anything, you know, but I'm not gonna glorify my mom's addiction habits. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna glorify that. Yeah. So, and we know what's right and what's wrong, you know? So same thing with your music, man. But we don't need to glorify people killing each other or anything like that. So if you're an artist, talk about something meaningful first off. People will connect to it. And number two, bro, you could really make it. I went from 900 followers in November to now I'm at 40K now. It's 3 months, 900 to 40K. That I didn't pay for anything. It's all been organic, everything. And, you know, I just received my check, just being 100% transparent. I made $400 off of my streaming for January. So just for January. So this is after, like, you know, this is only after a month of being, you know, the numbers are still going up. But the way you have to do it is you have to constantly put yourself out there. You got to be making content. you got to be out here putting these shorts up, putting these Instagram reels up at least one time a day, dude. You know what I mean? I mean, at least like 4 or 5 times a week, I would say. But, you know, for these other artists that's out here in Colorado, or anywhere, like, or even if you ain't even a rapper, man, like you and your podcast, bro, I pray this is the episode that blows up for you.
Appreciate it.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's really just about putting out that content and then becoming passionate about, okay, how do I optimize the content? What works? What doesn't work? You know what I'm saying? And not getting emotional about, well, I think this is cool. No. Look. The art is the art. People gonna come to my music and they're gonna see the art when they listen to the full song. When they watch a reel, it don't gotta be super cool, super this. You gotta hear this bar, you gotta hear that bar, you gotta see this part of the podcast. No. What's working and what's not working? Optimize that, become business like with that, and just become a machine. And when you do that, man, you're just gonna get better, man. You're just gonna get better. You do it every day, and eventually it's gonna blow up. I know it, man.
I agree with you. I'll just add on to that is actually doing the work. Don't just how many people sit there and yo, we gonna do this and and it never gets done. Bro. It's actually doing it, putting the effort and doing it. I always, when I get up in the morning, I always give myself 5 or 6 things. Even today, 5 or 6 things that I need to accomplish.
That you gotta get done.
That I gotta get done. And once I get them done, then I feel satisfied.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but usually what happens, I'll go, it's only 4 o'clock. I could probably do another 5 or 6 things, you know, and then I'll just do more.
Dude.
Yeah. So that's it's just a lot of people don't take that first step. You know what I mean? But I was talking about kind of the same thing the other day with one of my friends who's in the UFC. And when I was a former fighter, when the first hardest thing for me to do is fighting was to actually get in my car and step into a gym and tell somebody I wanted to fight. That was the hardest part.
Right.
You know? And I feel like that's probably, there's maybe someone wants to rap, but they're in the room rapping by themselves. They don't want to go out and put themselves out. Putting yourself out there is one of the first steps and the hardest part.
Right, dude.
Yeah.
That's like you said, getting to the gym is always the hardest part. Once you're in the gym,
it's easy. Yeah. But getting there,
dude,
that's a battle.
Bro, you got to put that work in. You got to make that commitment, man. And I've been seeing people like, you know, like that make that commitment win time and time again, bro. You know, if you make up in your mind, like, nah, I'm gonna get good at this. You know, it takes a certain type of personality to really be like that. I'm finding out, because a lot of people, they're just not like that, you know. But like, if you just make up in your mind, like, nah, bro, it don't matter, then there's a freedom in that. Because I promise you, bro, when I had 0 monthly listeners, when I restarted everything, I was almost in a lot of ways happier than I am now with the following I have, because I didn't care how long it took. I just knew it was out. Like, I never did it before, and I made up my mind, like, nah, dude, like, I'm gonna post every day. I know the music's dope. Like, I know it is. Everyone tells me it's dope. Like, I just made up in my mind, like, this is what I'm about to do every day. And every follower I got, every extra view I got, I truly cherished, bro. Like, I would get 1 follow, 2 follows, 3 follows a day. I would hit up every single follower, bro. And I would just thank them for following me. Ask them, like, hey, yo, how can I support what you're doing? You know what I'm saying? And half the time, you know, people be like, well, I don't really want to help. Like, first off, most of these people don't even really aren't going to give you something to do. They're just happy that you actually reached out.
Showed appreciation.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And like, I really, some of them did ask, like, oh man, can you support my clothing brand or whatever? Like, yeah, absolutely I can, bro. You're following me, you're supporting my music. Why can't I support you?
Yeah, why would I not?
Yeah. That's not a hard thing to do. And for me, it was such a place of, like, it was so easy at that point. Once I just decided, I was like, nah, man, I'm happy with, you know, 10 listens today, because I only had 5 yesterday. You know what I'm saying? And then the next day I get 20, and I was just like, yo, bro, this is improvement. I'm content with building it brick by brick. You know, and I think when you get to that place of just being content with being like, look, I don't care. Like I'm gonna build this thing one by one if I have to. Then what's gonna happen is that mentality is gonna just bang. You're gonna hit like a crazy growth just by having that kind of mentality, because people are gonna see it. They're gonna be like, oh, he cherishes everything. He's doing everything. It don't matter about the numbers. It don't matter about this. That having that mentality is just gonna give you just a crazy growth spurt in your business and your art and everything. And I'm a great example of that, man. You know what I mean?
Consistency helps. Gotta be consistent,
dude. Consistency is the thing.
Key.
It's the thing, man.
Yeah. Back at you from our break with my man here. So what was it like whenever you start seeing all that music blow up? Were you like hype as hell? Were you like, oh wow?
Bro, I'll tell you. Let me tell you the story, bro. So like I said, I was building it brick by brick. Super content with just 5 followers a day. Because I just seen the growth and I was just happy for growth. I was probably gaining about 20 followers a day. I wake up one morning. I was doing the same kind of video every day. I was like, yo, I'm the Christian Kendrick Lamar, da da da.
Yeah, I've seen those.
Yeah, that's the one that blew up. That's blown up like 4 or 5 times now. I did that video like 20 times, bro. And this is why, like, if you don't think it works, like, just keep doing it. Because it took me about 20 times before it blew up. And that was just, I feel like whenever you have a song, you have to have a narrative behind the song. Because that's what's going to make people care about the song. So the narrative for this specific song was, it's like a Kendrick Lamar song, but it's Christian. And so, you know, the next song might be like, this is my first breakup song, or you know what I mean? Like there has to be a narrative behind the song, and that's your push behind the song to make people care about listening to it. So that was the narrative behind this song, was like, this is how I'm going to pitch this song. It's like Christian Kendrick Lamar. That's how I'm gonna get people to care about it. So that's what I said. And so I was doing that kind of video. I was doing other things too, but that was like the main narrative I kept on pushing. And I was just getting ready to switch it and do something different, push a different song. And I get up, I wake up one morning and me and my wife are talking, and we're, like I said, we're excited about, 15 followers a day. I'm like, hey, at this rate, I'll be at such and such, you know what I mean? And I'm like, babe, how many followers do you think I got overnight? And she's like, I think you got 5. And I was like, no, I think I did more than that. I was like, I think I probably got like 12. So we turn on Instagram, I click it, and it's like 100. And I'm like, me and wife are like, what? Bro. And I'm like, and it's just going up. And it's like, it's only at like 6,000 plays or something like at that point. It wasn't even nothing crazy. But the crazy thing about that specific post, because I have a friend that went viral. He had like 5 million on one post, but he only got about 3,000 followers from a 5 million post.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Which isn't bad. That's great. But it's always the type of post that goes viral that's going to convert, either whether it's sales or follows or whatever it is. It's the type of post. And like I said, praise God, the post that went viral for me was very music centric. It wasn't just like me making a joke and the joke went viral and my song was in the background. That wouldn't convert a lot of followers to want to care about my music. Yeah. It was a very music centric piece of content. So even though it was only at 6,000 followers at that time, or 6,000 views, it was like I gained like 200 followers just overnight. And bro, ever since that moment, it hasn't stopped. It's just been consistently like growing. But in that moment, I was like, oh, maybe I'll get like 10K. Yeah, I was happy with that. I was like, oh, maybe I'll get like 10K views on this. And I was like, yo, if I can get 1,500 followers, I'll be happy. You know what I mean? Maybe I'll hit 2,000. That was like my goal for the end of the year at that point. I was like, if I had 2,000 followers by the end of the year, I'll be dope. And my wife's like, you'll hit 2,000 a day. And I was like, nah, let's not get ahead of ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I was like, this thing might stop. Like this, it might just go up a little bit. Cause I've had other videos, hit like 1,000 or 2,000. I was like, this thing might stop. Bro, it just didn't stop. It just kept going up and up and up. It hit 50K, then 100K, then 200K, then 300K. And the crazy thing about that is 2 videos were going viral at the exact same time. It was one about Kendrick and there was one about J. Cole. And they both were going up at the exact same time. One ended up stopping around like 450,000 and the other one was stopped around like 700 something thousand. But the conversion between those videos were so crazy as far as the follower rate. Like I said, I had a dude who had 5 million. He only gained about 2,000 followers from that. I gained, based off of those two posts and totaling almost 1 million between two videos, I gained about 20,000 followers just from those two videos, bro.
That's hella conversion.
Yeah, it was crazy. And because of that, I went up, you know, and it didn't happen like that. It probably took, to get that 20K, it took about a month. You know what I mean? So it was about a month of it was just consistently going up. And then, because then even when the video starts to slow down, I'm still getting likes on that same video. You know what I mean? And other videos. It's the compounding effect of being consistent. You start posting consistently, people are going to see those videos over the course of time, even if it's not going up like crazy. You have 300 videos getting 10 views a day. That's 3,000 views a day. You know what I'm saying? And they're only getting 10 views a day, but you're still getting 3,000 views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Get the people to follow.
Yeah.
I've been having a hard time converting them to YouTube.
YouTube?
Yeah, converting my Instagram followers over to.
Oh, so you're trying to get the Instagram over to YouTube.
Yeah.
It's hard to convert anybody to any other platform,
they
bro.
like to use their platforms.
Yeah, you got it. Do you do shorts or YouTube? It's just shorts, right?
Yeah, I do shorts.
How well are the shorts doing?
They're getting the thousands.
Oh, that's good. Because there's a lot of people that aren't getting like the thousands or even hundreds on shorts for the YouTube shorts.
Oh, well, we just started. So I put everything together, I think, at the beginning of September, and we shot our first episode maybe 4 months ago. Mm-hmm. And we're like close to 400 subscribers on YouTube, and we get thousands of views. We got about 500,000 views on our shorts. And
dope, bro.
We got
shorts, man.
About 3,200 followers on Instagram and TikTok. We're in the hundreds, and so I mean, I feel like it's going slow, but everybody tells me it's not. Mm-hmm. But in my mind, I'm like, damn, this is slow as shit. Like, and sometimes I get like you, where I'm like, whew, this is hard. Like, no one wants to come on my show. It's this.
Yeah.
But then I tell myself, it's just gonna work. I don't know. I just have a belief that it's gonna work.
You know
what I mean?
Man.
Like, it doesn't. I do get discouraged when I see the numbers and I look at the analytics. I do get discouraged, but it's a good, like what you just been telling me for the past hour. Like, how many people, young people, rappers out there are going to listen to this and get and gain something from that? Like a ton. There's a ton. And I just feel like this is a platform for the people, and it's necessary.
Yeah, bro, it is.
Yeah, and I feel like since it's necessary in business, it's you find a problem, you find a solution, you make sure what's necessary to fix it, and it blows up. And I feel like that's what I've done. So we'll see. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But I'll have 500 to 1,000 episodes of wonderful stories that I can spread.
And community. And good in a community.
Yeah, and I meet a bunch of people. I've met so many people now, like you're 18. Mm-hmm. I have a couple episodes that I record. I have one. So my best friend, one of my best friends is he's like really big in the UFC. He's really, really big. He's from Brandon Royval. He just won a big fight this weekend.
Yeah, yep. I just saw that. Yep. Yeah. Because he's from out here, right?
Yep. We trained together for years.
That's crazy, man.
He came in here. He was my episode 1. So
that's crazy, dude. Yeah. See, you're gonna be able to work that.
Well, what happened was though,
we get copyrighted or something.
Oh Lord! So
yep.
If you go to my YouTube and you go to all my platforms, you can't find episode 1, and there's a reason. Because he sat down and he was a really good. His story is unbelievable, and he had some good stories. And when he was a time like today where the producer couldn't be here, and after we did the podcast, I looked over and you see that red light on this one.
Stop.
I forgot to hit record I didn't record anything. We did a whole 2.5 podcasts and I didn't record it.
I'm sorry, bro. And he just goes on to be your biggest guest ever.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
No, he's already big. He was
already big, and then wow, man.
Yeah, but he'll come back. We're friends, you know. But I just been like not wanting to ask him because
he's probably getting hit up now by a lot of people.
Yeah, he's probably super busy and getting hit up. But yeah, you'll have mistakes like that in anything. When I rapped, there's been times I go in there and not hit record. You ever done that? I know you've done that, or messed it up, or the mic didn't messed up, or
or you forget to save.
Yeah, you're like, bro, that was fire. Did you get that? And it would be a freestyle or something.
Bro,
did you get that freestyle? Bro, I
didn't hit record, bro. I've done that with artists too. Forget to save it, or just forget to. Yeah, bro.
Yeah. Where do you record at now? Do you have your own studio? Or?
Yeah, I record myself. Yeah. I record myself. Thank you, man. Yeah, because I mix it myself too. So I record myself, I mix myself, master myself.
Make your beats and everything? Or?
No, man. See, that's what everybody thinks too is, man, you just only have so much time in the day. You know what I mean? So making beats is, especially if you want to make quality beats, that's going to take time.
You know how to make beats?
No, I don't. I mean, I can figure it out for sure. I know I could, but it's just, I've intentionally not gone that route because, you know, I've seen the process and I know how the time it takes to get good at anything, first of all. And I've seen the producers that, you know, the best producers I know, it takes them 5-6 hours to make a beat. And those are like the top two. Those are like that's the kind of producer I would be. So it's like, I don't have that time because I got to make the music. I got to write the music, record the music, mix the music, master the music. Mixing and mastering is like a crazy long process. And then I got to film content for it, edit the content for it, post the content for it. I'm doing all that myself. So I've decided that, like, I'm cool. I don't need to make my own beats, even though that would be super cool. There's not enough time in the day for me right now to be able to do all of that and juggle all of that. And I'm fine with it. You know what I mean?
How do you get them?
YouTube, BeatStars. You know, I get a lot of producers that DM me, and so, you know, I get a lot of emailed beats now.
Yo, get my man. He needs 20 original tracks.
20 original, man.
20 original tracks. You want to get your stuff listened to? It's gonna happen. DM my man.
Yeah.
20 original tracks. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to come from 20. It could come from 20 people.
Yep.
Send them all one track. And I will put it on my platform.
Yeah.
He will put it on his platform. This is my. See what I'm doing?
Yeah, I see what you're doing, bro. Yeah. And I listen to it too. Yeah, I listen to all of it.
Send us your tracks. But if it's garbage, it's not gonna get used.
Yeah, if it's bad, you know, I'll be like, yo, you know, nice
keep
beat.
practicing.
You know,
keep practicing.
I'll never diss somebody's music unless it's actively toxic. I probably won't say anything to it. You know what I mean? But if I'm not feeling it, I'll just be like, yo, it's a pretty nice beat, bro. It's not bad. I'm not gonna tell you it's bad. It's just a song. That's like looking at someone's art and being like, that sucks.
Yeah.
To me, that's dumb. It's just a beat.
Yeah. No.
You know
guys,
what I mean?
DM me.
But I won't use it though.
I want to see if I can get some for you.
Oh yeah, that'd be dope, man.
Yeah,
that'd be
get you
dope.
some of the original beats.
Yeah, man. You know, because, you know, I definitely do use a lot of YouTube beats, which is, I don't really care, man. A lot of rappers are like, no, you can't use YouTube beats. I'm like, bro, I don't even care if you ever heard anybody on this beat before.
Right?
Yeah, I'm like, if you heard someone on this beat before, you ain't heard it from me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean? But we gonna get your original track, that's for sure. We gonna get that.
Man. Yeah, bro. I'd love to look at your analytics though for you, bro, and like, you know, just to see what you got going and everything.
Oh yeah, you're welcome to look at my stuff whenever you want.
Yeah, man, and help you out anywhere I can, because I'm somebody who's really gotten into like that side of things, trying to do it for me and then trying to help other people too. And what you got here, bro, is a good product, bro. Like it's a good I mean, look at this. Like, you got the setup, you got everything you need. You know what I'm saying?
So I just didn't go out. So what I did is I bought one camera, I saved my money, and I bought a lens. It took me about a minute to get all this shit. And I bought a mic, then I bought another mic. Then I bought a light. Then I just slowly. But then I looked at one day. I said, "Damn, I got everything.
Got everything you need. Now you got to do it. Now you got to do it.
Yeah,
now you got to get in that car and go."
Then I started like, I thought I would just be like, set everything up and people would just run through the door.
Oh man!
And then I was like, damn.
They're like, hey bro, 300.
Yeah.
You want me on? I need the bag.
Yeah, everybody. So that's another thing that I'm not paying people to come on here.
Nah, man, you don't
I'm not paying people to come on here. I'm not going to start that. I know a lot of podcasts pay their guests.
Yeah.
And that's
I mean, you might have to if you get a real big guest.
I ain't paying him.
So you won't pay? So say like you get like, I don't know, say J. Cole or something.
I mean,
he's like, hey, $1,000.
It's pretty cheap.
That's exactly. So now you think about it, Z. You like, okay, wait, never mind.
I'm not trying to start that. You
Yeah.
think Joe Rogan pays his guests?
Yeah.
Once we get, you know, such a big platform.
Yeah.
You're not just doing me a favor. We're doing both each other a favor.
Yeah. No, I feel you.
I just don't want to start that.
It's tough, man.
I know it's tough. I just don't want to start that. What's the word I'm looking for? That routine or that habit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I don't want to start that. This is the people's podcast, and a lot of the end, it's, you know, this isn't about being paid and celebrities.
So let me ask you something though. So if you wanted to get the platform to be bigger, right? You know, ideally you would need a bigger guest, you know what I'm saying, or a viral moment. But say you have the opportunity to get like a really big guest on, but it's gonna cost you some money. You would walk away from that because you don't want to pay? I
mean, maybe, yeah. I may just wait.
Yeah.
Maybe it take me a little bit longer, but
hey, yeah. Ain't no wrong answers, you know.
Yeah, I don't want to start no trends that I don't want to keep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's cool, man. That's your brand. And people are gonna like that about you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's not what I do.
That's dope, man. You should really.
I'm a rare breed, bro. The people like me, they don't make them like me no more. Real people are a rare breed. See, that should be the brand of this podcast. Like, hey, this is real. Like you said in the beginning, don't matter your following. You can have this amount of following. You can have no following. I'm here for the connection. You know, we want to have real conversations with real people, and we're not here to do interviews. No. We're here to see perspectives of people's lives. It's true.
That's dope.
So, something I forgot to ask you that I just thought about. What made you get saved?
Man, yeah, bro. That's the testimony, right? Like that's the testimony. I've always known God, bro. I've always been someone who's prayed. I've always had a strong connection with God. I didn't grow up in the church at all. You know, I was baptized Catholic. I did get my first communion, but I mean, we only went on Easter, you know, Ash Wednesday. I didn't know nothing about the Bible, bro. Like I didn't know the difference between the Old Testament and the New Testament. 6 months ago, you could ask me, hey, bro, what's the difference between the Old Testament and New Testament? I'd have been like, what is that?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm saying? I didn't know nothing about the Bible, bro, or anything like that. I looked everywhere else but the Bible, but Jesus, for my spirituality. And I got real deep into what people would call New Age, which is sort of, in a sense, making yourself a god, where you would believe you are the one that can save you, right? I was very deep into that. Because there's a power into that, you know, at least a false power, I believe now. But there's a power into believing like, well, no, I can do whatever I feel like. I can manifest whatever I want, anything, right? And that's a very popular mindset nowadays. And I completely get where that's coming from because that's where I was at. And doing a lot of heavy meditations. I mean, hours, bro. Like just meditating for 1-2 hours. Transcendental, having real moments. It was real. It wasn't just fake. Like I felt the spirits. I felt the power in those meditations, right? Getting into like magic and stuff, witchcraft, things like that, reading books, and didn't think anything was wrong with it. You know, I didn't have any real reason to believe it, you know, that there was anything wrong with it. Because like I said, I didn't come from a religious background or anything like that. I was finding answers on my own. And through that, I reached a place, I hit a fear wall where something happened to me health-wise, and it wasn't even nothing big, bro. But it was just like, it put me in a paralyzed state of fear where I went into this sort of panic mode where I was like, nope, I'm not going to feel like this. I'm going to get out of this and I'm never going to feel this again. So I dove deep into everything that I thought I knew, which was everything I just talked about, the meditations, the crystals, the chakras, the witchcraft, the magic, all things like that. And I've never been someone who was ever depressed, ever in my life, bro. I didn't even know what that really meant. Never. I've always had a great, like I said, my life is a reflection of God's love, because that's what I felt growing up. I never had those sad feelings or anything like that. When I started doing all these things, saying affirmations, I am powerful. I am a God. I am whatever. You know what I mean? Me. I'm saving myself. Meditating. Going hard, dude. I hit a place where I hit a very severe depression out of nowhere. Something I never felt before. And I was very conscious of it. I was very aware of it. And it scared me because I understood exactly what it was, to the point where I felt like I didn't want to be here anymore. I was like, what's the point? And I didn't know why I was feeling like this, bro. I was just like walking around, the colors like literally got duller. Everything was gray. I didn't know why I was feeling like this, man. I was doing everything I thought I was supposed to be doing. I sort of had moved past that place of fear at this point because of everything I was doing. But for whatever reason, I hit this crazy place of like hopelessness. Why does anything matter? And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. And man, that was very hard for me. I was doing yoga, doing all these things, man, that, I've come to believe is now not something that people should be partaking in. But in my lowest of lows, I'm hours away from the house. I feel like I don't want to be here no more. I'm about to get in the car and drive home, if that's what I'm going to do, And in my lowest of lows, I get in the car and I'm like, I'm just going to listen to the radio, man. At this point, like I said, I was going really hard and everything. So I wasn't listening to any radio, anything. I was listening to self-development, mantras, meditations. At every waking moment of my life, I was doing this. That's what I mean when I was going hard. I was going hard. I was like, I just want to feel normal again. I don't want to feel like this. Let me just listen to the radio. I turn on the radio, what's supposed to be sports radio. And what comes on isn't the sports radio. For me, it was God speaking to me. It was just a man on the other side, and he was preaching to me. And I was at the lowest point of my life, bro. And he said, don't be scared. God is with you. And then just,
oh, that's wild.
And I was like, get in the car, turn on, I just want to be normal. Bang. And it's like, says what it says, goes off.
Phase back out. Man.
Wow. It was a sign. And I was just like, just started crying, bro. That was just one step of many that I realized God was with me. And I didn't realize at that moment that I shouldn't be doing what I was doing, because I was still doing the stuff I was doing, but I knew that I was being watched. I knew that I was being covered. Somewhere along the line, man, I just felt the need to know who Jesus was, like who Jesus really was, not just like what they tell you. I didn't even want to look in the Bible, bro. I was like, I want to know who Jesus was without looking at the Bible. I just want to know, like, what's his actual story? Is he really God? Is he like, I want to know like who this person is. I don't know why, but I knew not to ignore it. I just woke up one day and was like, I just want to know who this person is and not what they tell me he is. I don't care what the answer is. I just want to know the truth. He could be the evil one for all I care. I don't care. I just want to know. And ultimately, I had to look at the Bible. It would be negligent. It would be dumb for me not to at least read it and just see what was in it. So that led me down to actually opening it up. And then when I open it up, I have to actually verify, like, why should I believe this? So now I have to study it. I have to see, why should I believe anything that's said in here? And through that process, I start to educate myself. I start to understand, why is this credible at all? You start coming through prophecy. You start seeing prophecies in the Bible, how they're being fulfilled. You start just piecing things together, and it starts to become credible. And, there was a point where you have to ask Jesus to reveal himself to you. Like, if you are real, like people say, I don't want to feel like an idiot for just following something that's not real. You have to get on your knees, have an open heart, and be humble enough to ask, show yourself to me. If you are who you are, show yourself to me. And this is not in a challenge. This is like, I genuinely, if you love me like you say you love me, if this is real, reveal yourself to me. And to make a long story short, the way he revealed himself to me, I had a dream about me dying. And this was years before any of this. And the dream was the most real dream I'd ever had. It was one that actually scared me. You have nightmares, but this was the most real thing I ever experienced. And in the dream, they told me when I was going to die and where I was going to die. And it scared the crap out of me. And it was from somebody who had committed suicide that I knew growing up. And it scared the crap out of me. And so I knew not to go to this place, because I knew if I had gone to this certain specific place, I was going to die. At least that's what I believe. I believed it enough to not go to that place. And so, there had been times where I sort of that was such a scary dream. I had pushed that dream out of my conscious. I didn't want to remember it. And there had been times where I almost had gone to that place without knowing. And I was saved from going to that place. Like, I was covered. Like, I was going to go, but something would stop me every time until I was reminded that I had that dream. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was actually going to go there like 2 times. But, for whatever reason, you told me not to. The second time I got sick. Third time, right? So all of a sudden I get sick right before I'm supposed to go up there. And my wife's like, yo, that's the same place that God told you not to go. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that dream, because I didn't want to remember. It was so scary. I had, so I remember it and I'm like, oh my gosh, scared the crap out of me. And I'm like, okay, I'm not going to go there no more. I'm going to remember this dream. I'm not going to go to that place. I was supposed to go there for a job. And the place was I think it wasn't Yellowstone. It was Estes. It was Estes Park. So I come back and I told my boss everything, 'cause we were supposed to go up there for work. I was like, yo man, I know we're supposed to go up. I got sick, but I can't go to this place because, I had this revelation, yada, yada. He was like, yeah, okay, no worries, blah, blah, blah. So then he comes back and he tells me, I hadn't told him what it was yet, but he comes back and he's like, I'm like, okay, I'm never gonna go up there again. He comes back the next day after me realizing that, okay, I just got saved. I was sick. I didn't go up there. After I'm thinking the job is done. He's like, yo, we got to go back up to this place because I guess lightning had struck the building and burnt everything that we just did. The day after, I'm over here, I'm freaking out at this point. I'm like, what do you mean? Lightning hit it. After I'm like, oh man, I'm saved. I'm just going to remember this. I'm not going to go up there. Like, luckily, whatever, God saved me. I got sick to where I didn't have to go up there. And so I tell him, I freak out and I'm like, dude, I can't go up there. Like, this dream, this lightning, like everything, like, I don't know what. I feel like God's telling me not to go up. Like, I had to make a decision. Am I going to go up or am I not going to go up? So in the dream, essentially, it told me where not to go and it told me when. It said 2 weeks after you go to Estes, you're going to die. So I was scared that I go to Estes 2 weeks, I'm going to die. Like, it felt real. So I told him all this stuff and he was like, okay, cool. We'll go up there. Well, you don't have to go. So I felt, okay, I did what God's called me to do. oh, I'm not going to go up there. That's what God told me to do. I'm just going to stay away from that. So this necklace I have, right? This isn't the one, but I had one that my mom gave me when I graduated. And it was something that meant a lot to me. When I didn't really know God, it was like my source of faith. I had made an idol of it in a sense. It was just something that I felt like if I were to ever lose it, I would lose God's favor for whatever reason. That's just what I felt. And only God would understand that relationship. No person would understand that connection I had with that necklace. I had almost lost it a couple times. And the way it had come back to me was almost like, God's making sure I have this. He knew the connection I had with that necklace and how scared I was to lose it. I go swimming one day, and very near after this, and I come back from swimming and it's gone. And I'm like freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because like I said, I'm like, I'm gonna lose God's favor, bro. Like, this is what it is. I start praying because at this point I'm starting to come more to Jesus. This is after I had told Jesus to reveal himself to me. I'm starting to try to live that life. I start praying like, God, what does this mean? Because I couldn't find it. Every time I've lost it, it'd come right back to me on some miraculous stuff, weird stuff. Couldn't find it. I start praying. 5 seconds into my prayer, God tells me about my dream. He's like, your dream. I look up the day, right? The day that I lost this necklace was 2 weeks to the day that I was supposed to go to Estes, and I didn't. So the dream said, I'm going to die 2 weeks after I go to Estes. I don't go to Estes. The necklace gets lost 2 weeks after. So I'm like, oh my gosh, what does that mean? God told me, you were supposed to die if you go to Estes, but Jesus died for you. That was how Jesus revealed himself to me. And when I say things like this, I don't tell this story a lot because when you have to ask for Jesus to reveal himself to you or God to reveal himself to you, only you are going to know when God's talking to you. You might think, oh, God's speaking to me like this. And someone will tell you that, and they'll be like, that's weird, bro. That's just the wind blowing. But only you're going to know when that's actually God and it's not God, right? So only I knew what that necklace meant to me. Only God knew what that necklace really meant to me and what that really would do to me. Only God knew how much that dream really meant to me, how much that dream was real to me. So only he could use that to speak to me. No one else could use that to speak to me. So when I lost that necklace and I realized that was 2 weeks to the day that I was supposed to go to Estes, but God had told me not to, and I lose that necklace that I thought I would lose God's favor, and I had told Jesus to reveal himself to me, and then he reveals it to me through prayer that you were supposed to die, but Jesus died for you. And to this day, I've never been able to find that necklace. But it also broke the chain of, I can't put my idolatry within a necklace. It's just a necklace. So for me, that was one of the most powerful things that strengthened my relationship to be like, okay, I asked you to reveal yourself to me, and you did, clear as day. I've never had a more powerful dream, a more powerful thing happen to me symbolically in my life like that. And then the opportunity arose where I had to go to Estes, right? And because, once you believe in God, you believe in Jesus, your faith will be tested. And so I had to be like, okay, do I believe this or not? And so, I ended up going to Estes, and, I'm still here. You know what I mean? Like I didn't die.
You made it.
Yeah, I made it. And, so that's the way Jesus revealed himself to me. And when between those two moments and just me really studying and going through the things I went through where I said I seen the dark side of things, I knew I had to see the light. Like I knew I couldn't live in this place of darkness. I had to find what the light was, what the actual light was. And that was not what was the fake light or the perceived light, what the real light was. And and being saved, eventually I got baptized like 4 months ago. And you know, then I get baptized and the music starts going up. I start getting blessed like crazy, and you know, God shows himself to me every day now. And I think being saved is something that people think happens once, and maybe it does, but I think it's the constant renewal of what you used to be and turning into a new creation. And so yeah, that's my story, man. Whereas of me finding Jesus, finding God, and those, you know, those are the two pivotal moments that happened. But I mean, when I tell you it's a long process of undoing things that you think you know, being humble enough to be wrong and be okay with being wrong, and just looking for the truth every day, and you know, knowing that I can't do it myself. Like I don't want to do it myself anymore. Whereas before, I thought I could do everything. I was gonna save myself, and there was so much pressure in that of like, you know, I have to meditate every day. I have to do this. I have to do that. I have to do this. If I don't do it, then you know, whatever. Now I'm at a place where I don't need to do any of that. I'm not good enough, and that's okay. Like there's someone that is good enough that covers me, and they're the one that's making sure I'm okay. And there's such a liberation in that, man, compared to where I used to be, where now it's just, I let go, you know?
That's a good story.
Yeah, man. Thanks for staying with me on that. It's a long one.
Listening. That's very, I mean, we're just listening. It's still a good story.
Yeah.
It's a lot of symbolic messages in there. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I've had dreams too that you just feel that are real. Mm-hmm. And everybody's had that dream, that deja vu. Like, you know what I mean? So you probably made some good choices. Thank God you're here.
Seriously, man.
Yeah. So what are your, are you just going to run this music thing out?
Absolutely, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually starting a clothing brand. Well, no, actually I'm not starting with a clothing brand. This is actually a good segue. So the music's been going up. I'm hopefully looking at, you know, within the next 6 months being able to really do it, like being able to make a full-time income from the music within the next 6 months. Hopefully, like, the money is at that point where I'm actually making like a good wage from it. But I actually just signed an endorsement deal with a Colorado shoe company, faith-based shoe company that's out here, man.
Oh, okay.
And I brought some of the shoes with me because I wanted to show. And you're actually getting the scoop, man. I haven't announced this. We're gonna make it a big announcement.
Let's go.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir. Yeah. Tell Me Your Story podcast, right? Tell Me Your Story.
C-Rod's Tell Me Your Story.
Yeah, C-Rod's Tell Me Your Story podcast. Y'all getting the scoop. Cyfë II just announced an endorsement deal with Concrete Eden. Yeah, man. There's faith-based shoe company from Denver, Colorado. Really the only faith-based shoe company really in the U.S. Like, there's few and far between, like, any shoe companies. So right now we got the Son of God's out on the sole. They say Son of God, if you could see that. And we're gonna do a colorway for my album. My album's called Godchild, and it's a story about a child from heaven that I have an interaction with. And so throughout the album, it's like just sort of this interaction with this child and who this child is. And so it's sort of like a movie. And there's going to be, it's really, I've been working on it for a while now. And I'm going to make it, there's going to be a book of it. And it's going to be like a whole universe around it. But
when do these shoes drop?
These shoes are
they available? I'm
pretty sure these are available right now. So I'm pretty sure you can buy these right now. I just signed the endorsement deal, so I don't have like any, like, I'm not like super tapped in with how everything is, but I'm almost positive these shoes are available right now. But we're gonna do my own personal colorway of these shoes, and they're gonna, instead of saying Son of God, it's gonna say Godchild, because that's what the album's called. Yeah. And they're gonna be orange bottoms and cloud gray. So these are the originals, the pink and the green Son of Gods. But then we're gonna have the Godchild.
The dope shoes though.
Yeah, man, you can take a look.
Is it based in Colorado?
Yes. Colorado-based company. They got a couple different shoes already out. They got 5 or 6 different shoes. These are the best, the nicest shoes. You know, we're stepping up quality little by little. Ooh, man, you don't realize how I'm sitting, bro. Sheesh. Yeah, man. So they're stepping up. They partnered up with a lot of dope Christian artists just in the scene. There's a dude named Mike Teasy who's a really big artist in the Christian scene. They've done a really dope shoe. Look like Yeezys together.
Those look dope as heck.
Yeah, bro. I love these. I love these. So we just got out of like a 5-hour meeting a couple days ago, man.
Oh,
so
disgusting.
It was actually great, dude. I loved it.
Yeah. So you got the shoes. Got the shoes coming out.
Yep. Got the shoes coming out. We're gonna be running the music up.
Is you got an album coming out?
The album's gonna be coming out. Album's gonna be coming out in late March, early April. Is the goal of where the album is coming out. You know, I'm totally independent. I'm not signed to a label or anything. So, you know, there's no hard deadlines. Not that there is even with the label, because you know the labels be playing games. But yeah, like late March, early April is when I'm really aiming. There's a lot. It's a crazy album, bro.
Are you doing shows, or are you available for booking?
Yeah, I am doing shows. Me and my dude Way, formerly known as Connor Ray. He's an artist out here. We're actually going to be co-headlining a show in April or May, and that's going to be like one of the main shows I do for the Godchild album. And yeah, and I'm trying to get live instrumentation for that album, or for that show. So everything is just, you know, live drums, live piano, that kind of stuff. So it's like something different, man. You know, coming from the secular world where I was making secular music and just in the scene with all these other Colorado artists, you know, the Trev Riches. I don't know how tapped in you are with a lot of the artists out here. Yeah, Trev Rich is actually on the album. So that's the cool thing is like, even though I'm like a Christian rapper now, it's since I was so tapped in with a lot of the artists back then, before I converted, like there's no like hate or no weird anything. You know what I mean? Like these artists are still doing what they're doing, but they still respect like what I'm doing. So like I got like, you know, to me, the OG of the rap game for Colorado is Trev Rich. And so, you know, he's on the album, you know, showing his respect and just doing what he does. And, you know, kept it clean, you know, pushing a positive message. And then we got Trace, you know, Trace Chapman. Yeah, he's a pretty big rapper out here. He's someone I'm really tapped in with. He's on the album. And then I'm still trying to get, I need 2 more features for the album. And then it's pretty much done.
So you close.
Dude, I'm so close, bro. It's an album, dude. It's an experience.
Put it on Spotify, or how people gonna get it?
Yeah, so it's gonna be on my website for sure, to where people can buy it. But it's gonna be on Spotify too. It's gonna be, you know, I'm gonna have like a little exclusive thing where I sell direct to consumer. Because you know artists barely get paid for their streams, you know. So I can make more money. You know, for example, before I made Christian music, I sold an EP, like 4 songs, and it was like pay as you wish. I made like 10 or 11 sales, made like $300. The equivalent of making that much on like 10 or 11 sales, bro, would have been like, I think 400,000 streams.
Jesus. Wow.
And I made 11 sales. So like,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that's how little artists get paid. So like nowadays you really got to go direct to consumer and be like, hey, you can buy my music. And you know, I'd rather make, you know, if I'm doing it as a business owner, I'd rather have 100 people or 1,000 people listen to my music and that's it, and me make actually real money than 100,000 people and I'm not making even nearly as much. Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy. They'd be taking all the money. Dude,
it's terrible, bro.
Here's a penny out of your music and I'll keep the rest.
Bro, ask any artist, bro. It's terrible, man.
That sounds horrible. I didn't know. All right, back from our break. So what I usually do when I end these things is everybody heard your story. You know, maybe they relate. maybe they understand or look at you, understand where you're coming from now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I usually do is I ask, what message do you have for the world after they hear your story? And, you know, what message do you want to give the world? And what do you have to say for the people coming up? You can say it right there.
Yeah. If I had one message, man, it's that you got to find God for yourself. I mean, we're in a world right now where people are doing anything and everything trying to find God. And even people that don't believe in God, you know, they might think that they're atheists, but everybody has a God. And if you're truly looking for the truth, you're going to find God. And he's known as Jesus Christ. And I don't say that to be dogmatic. I really say that as someone who went everywhere else for the truth and arrived on the truth. So we see what's happening in the world right now. We see the evil that's going on. We can't deny that. So let's not participate in that. And let's not do everything trying to fill this void that only God could fill. So if I had one message, is that ask Jesus to reveal himself to you in a humble way. The worst thing that could happen is he never does. And you go back living the regular life that you've always lived. But if you ask him in a genuine and humble way to reveal himself to you, your life will be changed forever. That's my message.
Amen.
Amen.
Thank you for coming and talking with me, my brother.
Yes, sir, man. I appreciate you, bro, for real.
Yeah. Everybody make sure, beat makers, send me your tracks. DM my boy. I'll put his link in the bottom, and just say, hey, I saw you on C Rods. You want to drop something to this? We got the album coming out beginning of late March, beginning of April.
Yes, sir.
We got the sneakers coming out.
Yes, sir.
We got the show coming on in April or May, right?
Yes, sir. Yep.
We got the show coming. Make sure you check out my boy. Make sure you keep his stock going up. Make sure you stay positive and listen to positive messages. Make sure you hit subscribe. And make sure you come back for another story. This is C Rod's Tell Me Your Story. And we out.
We out of here, man. Let's go, dude. This is dope.